Hey guys, it's Pat from Elite Action Joe Studios. Jameson behind the camera, say hello.
Hello.
Emma is in the room.
Hello.
So what we got here today is another part of the Q&A. Paul Knapp asked a question about what other lines we collect, and he's newer to the AOA and kind of probably to our channel. So, and we've been asked similar questions before, but we thought we'd do a three-part little thing about each of us, one for each of the three of us, just showing a few other things, lines that we collect. And then I also said to the kids, hey, also follow up with, what if somebody gave you $1,000 to start collecting something that's not your main collection? So you could continue a secondary collection or something, or something new that you would want to collect. So we'll include that. So I'm going to start, and a couple things. Now I wouldn't say that these are collections. Now my Indians are a collection. I'm going to set this back for a sec. Hold on. So these Indians of mine are like some of my favorite things. Now technically this is the whole set. This Indian here is the same as that. It's a Cheyenne warrior. This is an Apache. This is a Pawnee. These were made by dog soldiers. They also made, I think, a Buffalo Soldier cavalryman and maybe a Viking. But these were the three Indians they made. This one is a sideshow. Came with the sideshow Western Legends. I used to have the whole set of that with Wyatt Earp, Billy the Kid, and Doc Holliday. I've talked before about how I love the Wild West, and for some reason I traded those or sold those. I think somebody offered me a crazy amount of money for the Cowboys, but I would not include this in it. These are some of the things I would love to have more of, but they don't make anymore, unfortunately. But definitely something I would pick up if this company continued to do so, or if another company began to sell them. Also, okay, 6-inch figures are something that we all get into. They also have a pretty good collection of 3 3/4 inch. They both have those. I showed these two before. Of course, we love Marvel, and we love Star Wars around here. Now, sadly, I don't have a lot of Star Wars figures, but these two were actually, they had a small 3 3/4 inch line, I think in the late 80s, early 90s, I think the 90s. The figures were this small, and they didn't have much articulation. They redid them on the 6-inch format with these cards. These are the only two I have. I'd like to get more of them, but being these are the greatest superheroes of all time, that's really all I need.
You know, it's funny, just a little note, the Punisher has the choking hazard warning on it, and Captain America doesn't. Punisher's more dangerous than Captain America here.
To an extent, sure. And then I do have more Legends figures that I would like. This is something I would like to collect more of, but I don't really go out of my way. But occasionally the kids will get me something. So these are some I have in my collection. A Scarlet Witch, because I like the older school style figures. So I know they have like new versions, but I like the older versions. I do also have a huge collection of the Legends original run that I'll probably show one day. But Scarlet Witch, I got Deadpool. Who doesn't love some Deadpool? I've got the Black Panther. I got several Captain Americas in all sorts of versions. That Cap. I've got Black Widow from the movie. These are the movie ones. This is more classic, but it's from. Then I have. This one's one of my favorite. Even though I didn't like the wolf head, I kind of remember the comic when they. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, but this has a really classic look to it. And so I really enjoy that figure. Glad to have that. And then, like I said, the 6-inch Legends are it's super great line, but I think that for me, I don't. People get a little crazy with them because they have 900 Captain Americas, 900 of this guy, 900 of that guy. It's just a little much. It's a money grab. Now these. Oh, I forgot my John Barenthal Punisher from the Netflix series. If you guys haven't check that out. Go see. You have to watch Daredevil first to get the kind of the introduction. But he is awesome. And then I have two odd ones that actually my boys got me. Jay got me this guy, Soap from Call of Duty. Him and Captain Price are really cool figures. And then my other son, Cameron, because we used to watch The Walking Dead together, he got me Morgan, because when Morgan first got introduced, he was like one of my favorite characters. We stopped watching it. Things get overdone, but these are two of my favorites. I've had these for a long time. These are two things that didn't get stolen. My original collection got stolen by a family member. This classic 2-pack and this. I love these figures. These are I would sell all these new ones before I ever got rid of these, just because these have had for a long time.
Yeah, especially Nick, Fury, and Cap. They're just so awesome looking.
Yeah, it's a cool set. So those are some really cool things that that I have. Now, as far as any other things that I might collect, if I was able to do that, there are two things. Now, everybody loves Mego out there. Back a while back, there was a run of figures called Famous Covers. They were very reminiscent of Mego. They had all the superheroes: Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the whole run. And I had them all until somebody stole them from me. The whole thing. I have one Captain America. He's in a box out in the garage still with a bunch of figures that I had from my childhood, random guys that I'll probably put on one day. But he's the only one that survived because he was loose and not in boxes with the other collection. But to show you an example of those, I got this for, actually, did you get this for Allie or did I get this for Allie? Like 2 years ago.
You did.
So this is what they look like. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. Great figures. They're very, very reminiscent of Mego. Cloth clothes, mixed media. And this is the Black Widow. This is something that I would love to recollect, the whole set. They had some cool 2-packs like Spider-Man and Spider-Woman in the black costumes. They had Wolverine. They had bad guys. They had like Red Skull, Doctor Doom, all the main guys. So that's something, if I ever really got back into something, I would try to do this set again. Because it's just something that's awesome. And then the last thing I want to show you guys is something that's funny, because this is actually from my childhood, but now I grew up, I had an older brother and I had younger siblings. So I was kind of blessed because me and my brother played with 12-inch Joes, the adventure team, because we were born in the 60s, had those into the 70s. But then I had my sisters who introduced me to the thing I'm about to show you, but then later on, my younger brother got into the small G.I. Joes, so we also collected those and had those. Now, at that point, I was probably too old to be playing with action figures, according to the high school standard, but I did it anyway. I just didn't tell people about it. So I had a great run of 60s, 70s, 80s toy involvement. But this one, I went out and got out of the one box because this is actually from my childhood, and this is I did this for Jeff. Jeff, yes, I have it too. The Fisher-Price Adventure People Jeep. Now I do have the tent. But I'm missing the canoe and the sleeping bags. So Jeff had this on his channel and showed it off. And but these figures were so much fun. My sisters had these. They had ambulances. They had television crews, planes. One of my favorite sets besides this one was they had park rangers, and they had like a flotilla boat and an airplane. And but these two guys were my favorite because they reminded me of the adventure team, and they came with a tent and sleeping bags and all that. But so I've had this for ages. I actually have a second Jeep, out there too, but I just brought this because this one is actually from my childhood. And Jeff also has this. And what a lot of people don't know, because people always think that the 3 3/4 inch Star Wars was the first, what started the whole small action figure. So when they were in the developmental stage at Kenner to do those figures, they used adventure people to paint into characters from Star Wars. So they used these figures to create the entire Star Wars line. Now, I know some of you are probably going, he's lying. I'm not. There's actually a video on YouTube. If we can find it, we'll put it in the link, but you can look it up. They took these figures, these Fisher-Price Adventure Team people, or Adventure people, and they customized them essentially into the Star Wars characters from the movie, and that's what they used to show at their presentation to get the go-ahead to start the Kenner Star Wars line. Just a little history. Awesome line, one of the most underrated lines of figures ever, and I played like crazy with my sisters with these. We had a blast with these, and I had all the Rangers, anything that was outdoorsy, 4-wheel drive. There was a safari set that had a Jeep and a trailer and animals and cages, and very cool. But I want to share that with Jeff, and on that, I'm going to wrap up my time, and so we can move on to, I think Jameson will be coming up next. So for now, I'm out.